Welcome to the Business Happy Hour with your hosts, Frank Cotto from Lincoln Lending Group, Ryan Pelkey from Tampa Bay Plumbers, and Doug Ford with Suncoast Roofing Solutions on 970 WFLA. These three business owners will teach you how to work to live it up, not live to work. Now sit back, grab a cold one if you have one, and get ready for some serious business talk with three hilariously serious business owners. Now, your host of the Business Happy Hour, Frank Cotto.
Hey, Tampa Bay, welcome to the Business Happy Hour. Where have you guys been? It's been a whole week we haven't been on the air.
Too long.
Speaking of where people have been, where's Doug? Anybody seen Doug?
No, it's like a Where's Waldo book these days.
Yeah, but I tell you what, his replacement is much better looking. Much better looking and way more alt-right.
How you doing, Frank?
Doing okay. That's Tony Lally, guys. The infamous Tony Lally, owner of Mr. Man Fine Clothing, and also Tony now has another gig he's doing here as well. But we love having him on the show, and a great contributor. He's going to
Thanks for having me on again, Frank. Appreciate
Absolutely.
that.
He's going to be a guest host in for our liberal partner, Mr. Doug Ford. Just kidding, Doug. We know you're only like slightly alt-right.
He's alt-left.
He's yeah. But what the heck is alt-right anyway?
I think it's the white supremacists. They're,
oh, sorry, Tone. Didn't mean to say that. I'm over here sounding like that Maxine Water or whatever the other lady's is. Oh
God, that no one needs to remember her name either.
Yeah, we'll bring that up later. But anyway, if you forgot who we are, if you're a first-time listener, this is Frank Cotto. I am president of Lincoln Lending Group and 813 Mortgage. Don't forget, you drop the E, I'll drop your fee. We can talk about that a little later. And Ryan Pelkey, my incredible co-host, the owner of Tampa Bay Plumbers and 813 Plumber. You can't forget that number, right?
No, I guess, it's amazing because some people say, what's your phone number? Like, really?
Well, I
813 Plumber.
I did 813 Plumber.
There's a B in there.
Yeah. There's not P-L-U-M-E-R.
There's no spell check when you're dialing the phone number?
I guess not. It's amazing, though, how many people can't spell plumber.
Well, I did mortgage. Imagine mortgage. Does anybody know how to spell mortgage? I mean, right?
I have a hard time spell sometimes.
Wait, how do you spell S-P-I? I mean, no, I had a little realtor presentation the other day, and hopefully he's listening because it's a funny story. He goes, well, how come you don't have the phone number on there? I'm like, well, I do. It's letters. He goes, yeah, but people can't figure that out. I'm like, well.
And, we had the same complaints, actually, so we had to change our logo on the bottom with the numerical value.
You're joking, right?
No, I swear to God, that's what we did.
Well, they do say that the vast majority of the country is, well, we'll just talk about that. Anyway, so speaking of guest host, not guest host, but a guest we have on the show today, we have Erica DiAngelo from DiAngelo Law. Good morning, Erica.
Good morning. Thanks for having me, guys.
We're glad
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, is it your first time on radio?
It is.
That's awesome.
Actually, I take that back. It's my second, but the first time was very short.
They kicked you right off, didn't they?
You're going to have a lot more. You're going to have a lot more fun on this program. I promise you that.
I'm excited.
The one thing we promise is fun, and I told Erica before the show she can chime in. I said, even if you disagree with us, now that Doug's not here, nobody's going to disagree with us. So we got to. Hopefully, you disagree with something we say. But if she gets quiet, she disagrees.
She's a lawyer. That'll be good. That'll come naturally.
I know. I was like, what? You don't know how to argue? Come on. But I was always told I should be a lawyer, and here I am on radio. Gotta love that, right? All right, guys, so all kinds of news going on right now. We've got a great first segment for you. Before we start, though, Ryan brought up something. We need to give a shout-out to some of our more avid listeners, some of the people who chime in on the website, who listen to us, who watch us on Facebook Live. One of our oldest listeners, Lisa Pilgrim.
Yeah, she's always every Facebook, she listens to every single show, all of them, all the time.
So good morning, Lisa, and thank you for listening. We love it when you do, and I know you don't normally catch it on the Facebook feed, but if you ever do, you want to chime in, we'd love to have you on there, and we appreciate everything you do for us. And also James Daller, good old Jim Daller, he is always on the Facebook feed. I don't even have it pulled up right now, so I got to figure out if he's on there. But
he probably is.
I'm sure.
What's
up,
Jim?
So what's up, Jim? Thanks for listening, and of course Peggy as well, Peggy Donner.
Yeah,
right. So that's another great listener of ours. She's always on the Facebook feed as well. Who else, Ryan? Anybody else we had on top of our head today?
Brad Kalis.
Brad Kalis.
Always on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have quite a few people that just, I mean, every show, it seems like they're always commenting and giving me a call afterwards. Oh, that's a great show, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and hopefully the staff at Lincoln Lending is actually watching. I just sent them a message before we went live and said, I actually expect you guys to listen to me every once in a while.
Every time I walk by someone in the office now and they're on Facebook, I'm like, why the hell don't you chime into our show?
Right.
I'm paying you to be on Facebook right now.
That's right. Quiz them. That's right. Berlander just gave us a great idea. We're going to quiz them on the show.
Is that what they do to you over here, Berlander?
Yeah. He's like, we got to make sure that guy actually listens to the news that he puts out.
Hey, it's getting a little warm in here.
It is. Well, but we might as well mention we're on a generator today, so if you guys lose our feed or something, at least you know it's not us. I'm not responsible for the power bill.
Is it? So the HVAC system's not on this generator power?
Who knows?
I doubt it.
Who knows?
I'm guessing not. I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, well, we might just do a shirts and skins show a little later. Erica, you're excluded. Don't worry. Well, you can always. Well,
it's clothing optional.
Clothing optional, always.
It's like one of those resorts we have local here.
Yeah, yes, we do. Paradise Lakes, gotta love it.
Well, I only go to the clothing optional resorts in Key West. So.
Yeah,
Not my hometown. It's too close to home. Too close to home. You never know who you're going to run into.
Yeah, could be cold outside. You don't want to get embarrassed.
Exactly. I got a reputation to uphold.
Oh man, reputation. I bet you. So anyway, Erica, DiAngelo, before we get into the show, just tell us a little bit about your company, and so they know who they're talking to, who they're listening to. You are a business attorney, right?
Yes, I am. I'm a business attorney. We have a new practice over in Channelside. It's fairly new. We focus mostly on small businesses. We do transactional work, some litigation as well, a lot of contract work. So
setting up a new business, they would go see you if they wanted to do something like that?
Yeah, actually, recently we've been more involved in the startup community because here in Tampa, as you guys know, it's just taking off. In fact, tomorrow night there's pitch night at the Attic. This morning there's 1 Million Cups, where all these new tech companies, not necessarily just tech, but new companies, pitch their ideas, and some businesses that have already started. So we're getting involved with that.
So it's like look for fundraising. Some of these companies come in and they pitch their ideas, and they're looking for investors and whatnot?
They look for investors, but they also are there to just meet people, make connections. They're also there for advice and feedback from people who are involved in the small business community and the startup community, who want to, give their perspective. Because when you're the one working on it, sometimes you don't see
totally.
What's going on.
Any good business owner, Ryan and I have given this advice before, but a lot of times you have to look outside the business. So you have to, get outside of the bubble to get some advice.
Yeah, outside the bubble. So it's actually really cool because not only am I an attorney, but I'm a small business owner. So being a small business attorney, I can help these small business owners, but I also can relate to being a small business owner.
That's awesome. That is great. And speaking of, and a lot of reports are saying that Tampa is poised to be the next Silicon Valley. Have you guys heard that?
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of tech
that's really
here.
Exciting news. Yeah, and I know that we even have, Tampa has a bid for the new Amazon headquarters and everything, trying to attract more people, more.
All that means that we got to pay taxes on our Amazon stuff, though, I think.
We already do.
We already do. That's right. They're already nailing us. That's because they have a distribution
center here. Yeah.
Gotta love that. Oh well.
I don't think from what I've seen, we're nowhere near the lead on the second headquarters.
No.
God, that'd be awesome.
We don't have a transit. We don't have public transit.
Right.
And we're not willing to give as much. They're looking for billions and billions of dollars in tax breaks.
Well, maybe they should look to the Obama administration, because apparently, they gave out $150 billion in subsidies from U.S. taxpayers to the insurance companies and whatnot. Isn't that right, Ryan?
Yeah, they did. They were
until Mr. Donald came in, and what did he do? Put the kibosh on that?
Yeah, he just did last week actually, which I thought was a brilliant move. There's been the repeal and replace attempts, multiple attempts this year. All of them have failed. Yep. And so Trump just said, "All right, you guys don't want to work on this. I'm going to go ahead and pull the plug on the free money."
Yep.
And now it's forcing everyone back to the table again, basically, because Obamacare without these subsidies is going to implode even faster than it was before. So
good. I can't tell you how disappointed I am in some of our sitting Republicans in the House and Senate and whatnot who have talk so much crap over 7-8 years about how we're going to repeal and replace. Oh yeah, we're going to get rid of it as soon as a Republican gets in, and then they have all these chances and they don't do it. Posturing in the grandest way.
And why haven't we heard about these subsidies until now? They weren't approved by Congress. They were nowhere in our budget. How do we just scrape together $150 billion?
Because it's only $150 billion, Ryan. Come on.
Yeah, can you imagine that? Like if you load a million, like you were at the casino the other day, and and there was $1 million.
Oh yeah.
And you know what that's like. Imagine a whole lot more.
What is that? 150,000 of those sitting in front of me?
1,500 is
something?
It?
I don't know.
No,
I'm no mathematician. I'm a mortgage broker.
Yeah, I think you're right. It is 150,000 of those.
I think it is. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. And that wasn't my million, by the way, guys. Not my million, but
working on it.
We're working on it. We're working on it. Not at the casino table. Although I told a story back in the day at Bimini when we were there at that Resort World place, and we were doing some high limit gambling with some guys. There was a guy at the table next to us who literally was down $1.4 million in his first night, and he's using those. They're not chips. They're the big cards. And I don't even know. I think they're worth $100,000 a piece, some $50,000 cards, things like that. But I mean, this guy is gambling away, enough to support 20 families a year in a night.
I couldn't imagine. I'm not a gambler like that. I start sweating when I'm at a $25 table. So
yeah, you would not have liked it in there.
I like to gamble with other people's money. That's better.
That's my favorite. It is. Yes.
You might be able to pull that off, Erica, but I just don't get that type of attention.
No, you definitely don't.
Monopoly money.
I'm
Monopoly money, yeah.
Nowhere near cute enough to be doing that.
No, you definitely are not. Speaking of cute, Tony.
What?
People just give you money left and right, don't they?
I wish. No.
I'll give you money to put your shirt back on. You guys aren't watching Facebook. There's a reason to watch today. Anyway, we only got a minute left, so we're going to tell you what's coming up in the show here. We're going to talk about why everyone on Fox News has smiles from ear to ear on the TV. If you haven't seen it, turn on Fox News and you will see more smiling than a clown circus.
Frown faces everywhere else.
Frown faces everywhere. Well, nobody else is covering this news, but you guys might want to look up the story about the dossier on Mr. Trump. And a lot of news came out in the last few hours here about who paid for it. Might be the DNC, might be Hillary Clinton's foundation, might be both. Maybe the FBI. I don't know.
Bing.
Little something going on here, but they always say you go where the evidence takes you, and it looks to me like the evidence is taking them in the opposite direction that they were looking. So we'll be back in a minute. You're watching or listening to the Business Happy Hour here on 970 AM, Tampa's best AM channel, and we'll be back in just a minute talking about Trump and the Uranium One deal, also with Erica DiAngelo.
Hi, I'm Ryan with Tampa Bay Plumbers. Thank you for choosing us for all of your plumbing, septic, and water treatment needs. What makes us different at Tampa Bay Plumbers is that we're a local full-service plumbing contractor that can handle any project, large or small, including cured-in-place pipelining, septic installations, and various water treatment products. You can find us at tampaplumber.net or 24/7 by phone at 813-PLUMBER. Thank you, and we look forward to working with you. This is Ryan with Tampa Bay Plumbers. At some point, we've all had to have a drain line snaked out. This typically involves running a steel cable through the drain line in an effort to clear a blockage. This often leaves a film of scale or buildup on the inside of the pipe with a hole in the middle. The only way to properly descale a drain line is to perform a hydrojet service. We use equipment that essentially pressure washes the inside of the pipe, leaving your drain lines free and clear. The two symptoms of a sewer backup are foul odors and slow-moving drains. If you are experiencing either of these, contact us at tampaplumber.net or 813-PLUMBER. My name is Ryan, and I am the production manager for Tampa Bay Plumbers, your one-stop shop for plumbing and septic needs. We pride ourselves on building the reputation as the best plumbing and septic company in the Tampa Bay area. But don't take it from me. Look us up on Google and you will see that we have a 4.8 star rating with over 100 reviews. We also have multiple awards and recognition from multiple online review sites such as Angie's List, Yelp, and Facebook. We do everything plumbing and septic, from residential to commercial, new construction to service. You can find us at tampaplumber.net or call us at 813-PLUMBER. I'm Ryan with Tampa Bay Plumbers. As a plumbing and septic company with over 100 years of combined experience, we know how frustrating a sewer backup can be. That is why we pride ourselves on being able to identify the cause of a problem before a backup ever happens. One of the tools we use to identify a problem in the sewer system is a video inspection camera. This camera runs through the drain line and is able to identify and locate any problems in the sewer system on a live feed. We then take that information from the live feed and are able to provide a recommendation on how to best fix the problem, oftentimes without the use of any excavation. If you are experiencing any problems with your sewer system, you can find us at tampaplumber.net or call us at 813-PLUMBER.
Hi, I'm Ryan with Tampa Bay Plumbers, and welcome to our website. So what's different about Tampa Bay Plumbers? Everything is different about us. Our company does literally everything that involves plumbing, water, drainage, sewer, septic. We handle it from A to Z, which is completely different than just about every company in town. If you call a plumber, they don't do septic necessarily. Definitely if you call a septic contractor, they don't do plumbing. In addition to doing a very wide scope of services, we do them extremely well. And the reason why is our process and our people. We have spent many years perfecting our craft, and we've also spent many years finding the best people to operate our system. And we have by far the best plumbers in town. I will put my guys up against any companies, anywhere, anytime, any place. And that's just evidence in the type of quality work that we put out. Go online, look at our reviews on Google, look at our reviews on Angie's List. No one else is as highly rated as us unless they're putting bogus reviews up. But our company takes a lot of pride in what we do on a daily basis, and we hope that you give us a chance. Again, I'm Ryan with Tampa Bay Plumbers. Thanks a lot for visiting our site.
With Frank Cotto, Ryan Pelkey, and Doug Ford. Now, back to the show.
Hey, guys, welcome back to the show. We were just chatting on the break about some interesting stories that Erica's going to share with us about stuff in her law firm, and I've got a great story for you as well. But before that, let's get right back to this Russian dossier thing. So, Ryan, you know a lot about that. I don't know, Tony, if you've heard much about the Russian dossier thing. But
No, I mishanded you last night. I was watching the World Series instead. So.
Oh, man, what are you doing, man? You didn't miss Tucker, I hope. Come on.
I did.
Dang it. All right,
Sorry.
We forgive you. We forgive you. But, yeah, my famous phrase, unless you've been living under a rock, I mean, so basically this dossier, and Ryan, I hope you got to help me on this thing.
Yeah, 35-page dossier, which is basically an intelligence briefing that was largely, it's arguable, it largely had to do with Trump being investigated on the Russian collusion scandal. So for a long time, we've been wondering where this thing came from. Well, it came from Fusion GPS, which is it's a political firm that digs up dirt on different candidates and stuff like that. It's not uncommon for a Democrat to hire or a Republican to hire Fusion GPS to find dirt on another opponent.
Sure.
The problem is that they literally fabricated the information in this 35-page dossier. So instead of the DNC and the Hillary Clinton campaign admitting to this actually occurring, they lied about it until just yesterday. I think last night was it they finally came out with it.
Well, yeah, they tried to cover up who was actually behind the purchasing, the funding of getting the dossier put together. So this the company Fusion GPS, if I understand correctly, was hired by someone, mystery until yesterday, to get this information. That company went out to a foreign intelligence person, I believe was he Russian or something like that.
Yep.
Hired
the Russian agent.
Hired the Russian, you want to say like CIA agent, we'll call him, to dig up this dirt. He puts together this dossier, which is largely false, and then this company gives it over to the people who hired him, which we now know are the Clinton Foundation and the DNC, and the FBI was aware of it. And at the time, I believe Mueller was the head of the FBI, and Comey was under him at the time. Eric Holder was also involved. Obama was aware. They put it to Obama's daily briefing, which they say is the most important briefing the president receives each day, is his classified daily briefing. And this was part of it. So basically fake news all the way to the president. But then the sad thing is, even after the election in November, the FBI, through the Obama administration, considered continually funding the research through this company.
And the media time on this has just been staggering. I mean, you look at it for months. I think all we heard about on CNN or any of the MSNBC, any of them, was all Russia collusion, Russia collusion, Russia collusion. And now we have a legitimate Uranium One scandal involving the Clintons, the State Department, and 8 other divisions inside of our government.
Yep.
And NBC, CNN, and MSNBC had a total of 0 minutes as of last week covering this scandal.
On the dossier, yeah.
Unbelievable.
And the Washington Post is the one who broke a lot of the story this morning, I believe, right? And aren't they a little bit more liberal?
And on the way over here, and on the way over here, I turned on CNN just to see what they were talking about, and they were, sure enough, they were talking about the dossier, who paid for it, but they were downplaying the effect and how serious of a matter it is. It didn't really affect. They still would have been investigating the Russia collusion story, and I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. How can you draw that conclusion?
Well, you know the old thing, you open the rabbit hole, you got to see where it goes. And I think in this case, the rabbit hole is going the direction they did not want it to go. And that's why the Fox News guys are smiling ear to ear right now, because we actually have a smoking gun.
Yeah.
Hard evidence.
Major boomerang.
Major boomerang. Great movie, by the way.
Better be careful where you throw that thing.
Yeah, for real. Erica, what do you think of that? Anything crazy? No comment?
No comment.
That's okay. No comments are good. That's why we have Doug. Doug, hope you're listening. But, anyway, Tone, anything? You really weren't caught up on that.
So. Throw her in jail.
Throw her in jail. That's what I'm saying. All right. 4 more years
in jail.
In prison.
For the Uranium One deal, I think that there needs to be some prison time landed. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's treason if you ask me. I can't believe that happened.
Yeah.
That actually
if you guys
happened.
don't know what Uranium One is, just Google it. You'll see plenty of video interviews. You'll see plenty of information on it. But basically, we gave away 20% of our strategic uranium supply to a Russian-based company, and there's a lot of dirty collusion, you could call it, between the Clinton Foundation and other people about how that deal went down. But either way, the facts are the facts. We're still investigating. Let's see where it all goes. I'm sure it will be fun.
What's worse than all that is, as far as who set that up, is our security, our national security,
right? The
American people. I think we're talking about pointing fingers, Hillary Clinton campaign, whoever, but it's our security.
That's right.
Why are you going to give the Russians uranium,
right,
to build nuclear weapons?
Well, last night on TV, I saw, and I'm sure he was a more left guy, but he was saying, "Well, we got tons of uranium. Uranium isn't scarce." I'm like, "Well, okay, so plutonium isn't scarce. So do we give it to Iran? I mean, does that make any sense?"
No, it doesn't. Especially because we don't even know, we don't know the extent of nuclear technology yet. We may be able to use nuclear technology for propulsion in the future and future transport to other planets, and I mean that.
Right, and forget the fact that we don't know where this stuff is going and who's getting it.
Right.
Okay, it's one thing if okay, Russia's got it, but Russia could be selling it to anybody. Who knows what they're doing?
From what I've heard, that none of it was actually supposed to leave the country.
Right. And they know it has.
But they've got a lot. They do have evidence that some of it has left the country. So they were supposed to be mining it for us. Right. Why would we even allow that to take place, even if that was the original intent?
Well, look, pay me enough money, and I'm Hillary Clinton. I'll let you.
I'll give you 140 million reasons why.
That's a good one. That's a good one. 140 million. I'll take. I'll do it for 100.
What about a speech for $500,000?
That's right. That's right. When my fee was only half of that a week before. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. So on some good news, guys, let's talk some good stuff real quick. Stocks are rallying. If you are in the market, which most of our listeners are, pay attention, guys. The stocks are rallying, and a lot of people are saying that we could go as high as 40,000. Nobody thought we could hit 20,000 just a few years ago.
Yeah, well, we're about to see if we can get tax reform pushed through soon, like this year. We are going to see the stocks are going to continue to go up. Everyone, if you have a 401k, if you're looking at that. All the 401ks are through the roof right now.
Yeah, open up your portfolio if you have it. And speaking of, saying for tax cuts for small business, DiAngelo Law is a small business, and Erica runs it, so she has that interesting perspective of being a small business owner and an attorney. And when we get back from the break, I want to kind of get into that. And we're going to talk about some stories about your company, but I want your opinion on what do you think as a small business owner tax reform may do for you, if you have any insight to that.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to the tax reform.
Yes.
I think that there's so many regulations right now that are not in favor of small businesses.
Right.
It's just so hard to get ahead. And then being a lawyer on top of it, we have the Florida Bar, who they have good intentions.
Yes, they have great intentions. We're going to take a break, and we're going to be back with Erica DiAngelo. And don't forget, if you want to find their company, it is www.diangelolaw.com, DIANGELO law.com. You're listening to the Business Happy Hour. We'll be back in just a minute. We're going to talk about small business, tax reform, and what's in store for you.
Hi, I'm Ryan with Tampa Bay Plumbers. Thank you for choosing us for all of your plumbing, septic, and water treatment needs. What makes us different at Tampa Bay Plumbers is that we're a local full-service plumbing contractor that can handle any project, large or small, including cured-in-place pipelining, septic installations, and various water treatment products. You can find us at tampaplumber.net or 24/7 by phone at 813-PLUMBER. Thank you, and we look forward to working with you. This is Ryan with Tampa Bay Plumbers. At some point, we've all had to have a drain line snaked out. This typically involves running a steel cable through the drain line in an effort to clear a blockage. This often leaves a film of scale or buildup on the inside of the pipe with a hole in the middle. The only way to properly descale a drain line is to perform a hydrojet service. We use equipment that essentially pressure washes the inside of the pipe, leaving your drain lines free and clear. The two symptoms of a sewer backup are foul odors and slow-moving drains. If you are experiencing either of these, contact us at tampaplumber.net or 813-PLUMBER. My name is Ryan, and I'm the production manager for Tampa Bay Plumbers, your one-stop shop for all of your plumbing and septic needs. We pride ourselves on building the reputation as the best plumbing and septic company in the Tampa Bay area. But don't take it from me. Look us up on Google and you will see that we have a 4.8-star rating with over 100 reviews. We also have multiple awards and recognition from multiple online review sites such as Angie's List, Yelp, and Facebook. We do everything plumbing and septic, from residential to commercial, new construction to service. You can find us at tampaplumber.net or call us at 813-PLUMBER. I'm Ryan with Tampa Bay Plumbers. As a plumbing and septic company with over 100 years of combined experience, we know how frustrating a sewer backup can be. That is why we pride ourselves on being able to identify the cause of a problem before a backup ever happens. One of the tools we use to identify a problem in the sewer system is a video inspection camera. This camera runs through the drain line and is able to identify and locate any problems in the sewer system on a live feed. We then take that information from the live feed and are able to provide a recommendation on how to best fix the problem, oftentimes without the use of any excavation. If you are experiencing any problems with your sewer system, you can find us at tampaplumber.net or call us at 813-PLUMBER.
Hi, I'm Ryan with Tampa Bay Plumbers, and welcome to our website. So what's different about Tampa Bay Plumbers? Everything is different about us. Our company does literally everything that involves plumbing, water, drainage, sewer, septic. We handle it from A to Z, which is completely different than just about every company in town. If you call a plumber, they don't do septic necessarily. Definitely if you call a septic contractor, they don't do plumbing. In addition to doing a very wide scope of services, we do them extremely well. And the reason why is our process and our people. We have spent many years perfecting our craft, and we've also spent many years finding the best people to operate our system. And we have by far the best plumbers in town. I will put my guys up against any companies, anywhere, anytime, any place. And that's just evidence in the type of quality work that we put out. Go online and look at our reviews on Google, look at our reviews on Angie's List. No one else is as highly rated as us unless they're putting bogus reviews up. But our company takes a lot of pride in what we do on a daily basis, and we hope that you give us a chance. Again, I'm Ryan with Tampa Bay Plumbers. Thanks a lot for visiting our site.
You have been listening to the Business Happy Hour with Frank Cotto, Ryan Pelkey, and Doug Ford. Now, back to the show.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. We are having a great time in here with our guest host, Tony Lally, Mr. Man himself. How we doing, Tony?
What's up, Frank?
Man, you're awfully quiet over there.
I am. I got to get in the action.
Got to get in the action.
I will.
He's just smiling
You
on
need some
camera.
coffee or something.
I do need some coffee.
That's right.
Espresso.
Well, too bad the power's out. The coffee machine doesn't work. So, whatever. Might be a good day for a cold cup of Joe. And then Erica DiAngelo, Esquire, with DiAngelo Law. And don't forget, you can find her at DiAngeloLaw.com. That's DiAngelo Law.com. Sorry, I lost it there for about half a second. So I told you before the break we're going to talk a little bit about business and regulation and this tax reform. So one of the things I'm the most excited about in the tax cut as a small business owner is that, let's say hypothetically our tax rate is now 30%, okay, as an S corp. They drop it down to 20%. That effectively, in a simple way, is a 10% increase in my revenue. So being a businessman, what do we do as business people when we make more money?
Invest it.
Right.
Invest it back in the business.
Bingo. Exactly, Erica. That is usually what a successful businessman is going to do. He's going to take that money, put it back in, because why? It takes money to make money. You have an extra $100,000, you can either hire some people, you can buy some new leads, you can get some new equipment, you can expand, open another office.
Wage growth, too.
Increase wages, bonuses, make your employees happier. Either way, it's going to strengthen your business. So that, they talk about trickle-down economics, and anybody who doesn't think that's real is out of their mind. Because any successful businessman is not just going to pad his pockets; he wants to make more money. Yeah.
So for pass through income, we're going to be treated. That'll be passed through into our different tax brackets yet. So we haven't seen exactly what that's going to look like. But right now they're proposing 20% corporate income tax rate. So that's for your C corporations.
Okay.
Which I highly doubt anyone in here owns a C corp.
Nope.
But. So if the way you have to look at it is these multinational corporations that for years have been flocking out of the country because of high regulations and the highest tax rate for businesses in the world.
Highest in the developed world, the United States is. The biggest, strongest economy, we have the highest tax of any developed nation.
So my point has always been, if you can imagine how many businesses would want to do business here in the United States with a much more favorable regulation environment and lower taxes, actually competitive, one of the lower rates.
Well, Ryan, we're not just talking about foreign entities, right? We're talking about U.S. companies who have left U.S. soil because of tax rates to pay less overseas. They will have a chance to come back. And have you guys ever heard of repatriation? Anybody know what that is?
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, so repatriation, and they talk about repatriation of funds. It's basically these U.S. companies who have left U.S. soil because of the corporate tax rates, and they're parking money. I mean, literally, picture trillions of dollars sitting in barges off the Florida coast. That's real, guys. The money's not real. That's a figure of speech.
Apple has like $260 billion of it, just that one company.
Right. So what they're talking about, and the past ideas about reform have been that we'll let you repatriate your money, but we're going to charge you 20% or something like that to bring it back in. So what kind of idiot would do that, right? But if they offer a good rate for these companies to bring the money back in, we're talking corporate expansion on an incredible level. In America, which means more jobs.
Way more jobs. Plus, the money's going to be sitting in banks.
Yes.
Right? What do banks do?
What, lend money?
Yeah.
So what's the math you gave us on the break, Ryan?
Well, I think the regulation is they have to keep at least 1% of their total assets in cash in the bank.
Right. But they can so basically can lend out 100 times that.
Right. So if you got $1 trillion added into your banking system, then $100 trillion could be lent out.
Right. So what does that mean for people? What does that mean for small business owners like you, Tone? I mean,
we can go get loans and invest back into our business.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're going to be salivating to give out small business loans.
Like right now, banks do not come after us wanting to give out small business loans. Like Erica, did you guys have to get any loans when you started the company? Or are you pretty much good without the banks right now? Or?
No, we were fortunate enough so far, but that's always something that we need, and especially my clients. These are all startups, small businesses.
Yeah.
This is great news for them.
Exactly. I mean, think about all your clients. Because being a business attorney, which is great, they all of a sudden they have credit lines. Wells Fargo's calling them saying, "Hey guys, I've got a $100,000 credit line. It looks like you guys are in the black. You're doing good. You're making money. How about we help you as a bank move forward?" We don't help people.
No.
At all. Banks they're not out there helping. But this would be huge. Like Ryan said, they will have so much money the only thing they're going to want to do is lend it out and make more money, just like the business owners.
Yeah, their profits, they're going to see potential profits that are staggering. For the first time in many years, the banks have been relying on government-backed loans. That's how they've been making all their money. It's very small margins, but it's guaranteed for the most part. So why would you want to take any risk when you can make all this money over here with zero risk? Just pushing paper around.
So speaking of risk, we're going to divert over here to Erica a little bit. Opening up a business and being a small business owner and starting a company, it's a very risky venture. Okay, and that's why they need somebody getting their back, like an attorney, to help them start the business, give them some advice. And the best thing you said so far is that you are a small business owner and a business attorney. So you bring an angle to the table that a lot of people don't have. You fill a gap. Tell us a little bit more about the practice. Who is your best client? Who needs to call you? Is it the guy who already started the business? Is it the guy who's going to start the business, or both? Well,
realistically, most of the time it's somebody who's already gotten themselves into a little bit of trouble. But what we're trying to get people to be more aware of, more conscious of, is to start with an attorney.
Yes.
I know that there's LegalZoom and all these things out there that you can do, but they aren't specific to your company. They don't address your needs. They can't know everything about you because it's not a human talking to you.
Right.
So I would recommend any small business who is just getting started or who's evolving or just didn't get their paperwork in order, do it ahead of time, because it's going to cost you so much more money to fix the problem once it's occurred. I mean, and this is with your formation, making sure you're choosing the correct entity to form to begin with.
Yep, like Ryan was talking about, C Corp versus S Corp.
Oh, absolutely.
LLC.
Yeah. And things like your employment agreements or independent contractor agreements, make sure you know which is which, and are these employees, or not.
Right. There's a lot of laws that have to go into that,
there
especially
are a lot
with wages.
Of laws, yeah.
I wish we could have nothing but independent contractors. I'd make an extra $1 million a year right now.
Consult with Erica. She might have an angle on that one.
Yeah, I wish you did, but she doesn't.
But so a lot of attorneys, they say, hey, free consultation. I mean, is that something that somebody should do? They should call up DiAngelo Law and hey, make an appointment and sit down, and you can kind of go over what you can do for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And if there's something that I can't do, I can still give recommendations, and I do. Yep. There's always options, and just getting more informed is always a good thing when you're starting a business. And I can't tell you how many people just put that on the back burner. They think, okay, I'll just get these like minimal documents, as long as it's in writing. People think contract, you just write it on a paper and it's valid. Well, most of the time it is, but if you don't have the right information in that contract, then it can really come around and bite you. So I just really recommend get informed, learn about it. Even if you don't end up hiring an attorney, at least you're more informed, and maybe down the road a couple months after you start getting some profit, maybe you want to. But yeah, get informed. Protect yourself ahead of time.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you about attorneys, I definitely recommend DiAngelo Law. There's no questions asked. And every attorney I've ever hired has actually been referred to me. So the first attorney I ever hired, he's actually referred me to other attorneys. And I got to throw a shout out to our buddy Derek Capaz at Capaz Law. Derek actually helped me with a couple different cases, and he does personal injury and criminal defense and things like that. And I've had a couple business things that I decided I probably should have an attorney help me out on. And the best thing to do is get a referral. So you're hearing it here at the Business Happy Hour. If you're looking for a business attorney, DiAngelo Law, DiAngelo DiAngelo Law is where you want to go. That's referred by us. And of course, if Erica can't help you, I always tell you, take the advice of the attorney. I have never been sent down the wrong direction when I've asked an attorney for a referral for another attorney. They don't. You guys are kind of a very tight circle. You don't want to mess each other up or give bad advice. It'll come back on you. So that's a good thing to do. So don't forget to call her on that. We have about 3 minutes left in this segment. I on the break, you were telling me some interesting stories. People love stories, and I've got one to bounce off yours. But there's the big bad wolf called Geico Insurance. The big bad wolf, and I've talked about him before on the show. But
hate Geico.
Yeah,
love Warren Buffett, but
yeah,
I hate
honestly,
Geico.
I mean, they're great for insurance coverage.
Yep.
I had Geico up until about a year ago, but that is not.
Are they more expensive?
It depends on everybody,
Right.
Like they were the cheapest for me for the longest time, and I got new quotes, and I had to switch because they were no longer the cheapest. So I think it just depends person by person.
Right.
So not saying that you should go switch out of Geico right now or anything like that, but seeing Geico and how it works from my perspective as an attorney with a client who has over 1,000 cases against Geico. Geico has lawsuits against my client as well. So we're deeply invested in this litigation that's been going on for about 3 years between my client and Geico.
Wow.
Well, the only thing that I'll say, Geico, I'll give a really, really quick story, but when my second child was born about 5 years ago, my sister-in-law came up from Miami to be there for the birth and parked outside my house, and I live in a pretty decent neighborhood, and her car got stolen right out of my driveway the morning that my daughter was born, and that she had accidentally left her key in the car, one of those key fobs, and she didn't even realize she did. So she called Geico and was like, I have no clue what happened. They're like, well, do you have the key? She's I don't know if she said yes or no or whatever, but something she said, triggered them to create an investigation. Well, they caught the guys on film going through the toll at Veterans. Okay, they found the car a week later, completely spray painted. Okay, first of all, yeah, right. I know, great, very smart criminals. Very smart criminals. They spray painted the car. Geico did not pay the claim. Oof. And they tried to claim that she was involved in some sort of fraud. Now, mind you,
they love to throw out that allegation.
She's from Miami, okay? She's lived there for 8 years, all right? Wow. They tried to, tie her to these guys. These guys even admitted to the police they have no idea who she is. They spray painted the car. They're on video, red-handed, and Geico didn't pay. So that's my problem with Geico. You probably know more than me, Erica, but what is up with these insurance companies? You are paying them for years and years, and when it comes time for that one settlement you need, they fight you? They're not your friends anymore?
Well, that would interfere with their Ponzi scheme like we were talking about off air. But, side note.
Insurance Ponzi scheme, look it up.
That's why I hate insurance companies. It's like going to a casino, only the difference is when you hit the jackpot, the pit boss doesn't beat you up on the way out.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening.
It's very sad that they handle it like that.
No, when you hit the jackpot, the pit boss comes over and he checks the machine, he makes sure it's working. They're looking for every reason not to pay you.
Exactly. They instead, at a casino, they roll you into the high roller suite, and then you end up spending more money.
Oh, yeah, that works every time on me.
Geico, they just beat you up.
They just beat you up. See, the high roller suite, they just get you liquored up. And you walk out, and you're like, what happened? Anyway, got to take a break, guys. When we get back, we're going to talk more with Erica DiAngelo on the Business Happy Hour. You're listening to us and watching on Facebook Live.
Hi, I'm Ryan with Tampa Bay Plumbers. Thank you for choosing us for all of your plumbing, septic, and water treatment needs. What makes us different at Tampa Bay Plumbers is that we're a local full-service plumbing contractor that can handle any project, large or small, including cured-in-place pipelining, septic installations, and various water treatment products. You can find us at tampaplumber.net or 24/7 by phone at 813-PLUMBER. Thank you, and we look forward to working with you. This is Ryan with Tampa Bay Plumbers. At some point, we've all had to have a drain line snaked out. This typically involves running a steel cable through the drain line in an effort to clear a blockage. This often leaves a film of scale or buildup on the inside of the pipe with a hole in the middle. The only way to properly descale a drain line is to perform a hydrojet service. We use equipment that essentially pressure washes the inside of the pipe, leaving your drain lines free and clear. The two symptoms of a sewer backup are foul odors and slow-moving drains. If you are experiencing either of these, contact us at tampaplumber.net or 813-PLUMBER. My name is Ryan, and I'm the production manager for Tampa Bay Plumbers, your one-stop shop for all of your plumbing and septic needs. We pride ourselves on building the reputation as the best plumbing and septic company in the Tampa Bay area. But don't take it from me. Look us up on Google and you will see that we have a 4.8 star rating with over 100 reviews. We also have multiple awards and recognition from multiple online review sites such as Angie's List, Yelp, and Facebook. We do everything plumbing and septic, from residential to commercial, new construction to service. You can find us at tampaplumber.net or call us at 813-PLUMBER. I'm Ryan with Tampa Bay Plumbers. As a plumbing and septic company with over 100 years of combined experience, we know how frustrating a sewer backup can be. That is why we pride ourselves on being able to identify the cause of a problem before a backup ever happens. One of the tools we use to identify a problem in the sewer system is a video inspection camera. This camera runs through the drain line and is able to identify and locate any problems in the sewer system on a live feed. We then take that information from the live feed and are able to provide a recommendation on how to best fix the problem, oftentimes without the use of any excavation. If you are experiencing any problems with your sewer system, you can find us at tampaplumber.net or call us at 813-PLUMBER.
Hi, I'm Ryan with Tampa Bay Plumbers, and welcome to our website. So what's different about Tampa Bay Plumbers? Everything is different about us. Our company does literally everything that involves plumbing, water, drainage, sewer, septic. We handle it from A to Z, which is completely different than just about every company in town. If you call a plumber, they don't do septic necessarily. Definitely if you call a septic contractor, they don't do plumbing. In addition to doing a very wide scope of services, we do them extremely well. And the reason why is our process and our people. We have spent many years perfecting our craft, and we've also spent many years finding the best people to operate our system. And we have by far the best plumbers in town. I will put my guys up against any companies, anywhere, anytime, any place. And that's just evidence in the type of quality work that we put out. Go online, look at our reviews on Google, look at our reviews on Angie's List. No one else is as highly rated as us unless they're putting bogus reviews up. But our company takes a lot of pride in what we do on a daily basis, and we hope that you give us a chance. Again, I'm Ryan with Tampa Bay Plumbers. Thanks a lot for visiting our site.
You have been listening to the Business Happy Hour with Frank Cotto, Ryan Pelkey, and Doug Ford. Now, back to the show.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. It's our last segment, going so fast here with Erica DiAngelo and DiAngelo Law in the studio. Having a good time, right?
I am. Yeah.
Good. Not too bad on this radio show, huh?
It's exciting.
It's exciting. Good. We like
and
to
the
keep
air's back on, so it's a little chilly.
Yeah, it got a little chilly, but it's crazy. It gets really hot and cold in these studios, all these freaking lights and everything. But Tone, how's your day going today?
It's good. I woke up this morning and wanted to hang out with Frank today.
I know. He called me. He goes, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" I said, "We're doing the show, and we could use a co-host. Come on in."
I know I haven't been much of a help this morning, though.
That's okay.
Need to chime in more.
No, Erica's been stealing the show.
She has.
This whole time.
She's doing a good job.
But good business advice, and we did every once in a while. We like to talk business on the Business Happy Hour.
Yeah.
Little bit.
I want to give a little piece of advice because it's been working for me remarkably well. Is Indeed.com. Indeed.com. We've hired a lot of people this year. We still need to hire at least 50 more in the next 12 months.
You're not going to be a small business soon.
I guess not. When do you become medium? 250?
Erica, do you have any clue? I don't even.
I read it this morning. I should have remembered.
I think
she's not a business attorney.
There's two metrics for it. You got gross receipts and you got number employee count. So depending on what metric you're looking at, we could be there soon.
Man, you better be careful. You might have to start offering Obamacare.
I already do. Oh, yeah. That's been like that. So.
And this is where I ask you to stop being on the show. So.
But after you get to 50, you got the FMLA law.
FMLA.
FMLA.
Yeah.
Is that another radio station?
We're a plumbing company, so we don't have a lot of female employees, as you can imagine. So that doesn't really affect us that much. But yeah, when you get to 50, things change.
Ryan did have a female plumber one time.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, then she got picked up by the po-po.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
And my dispatcher went in to bail her son out, and she sees her inside of the
incarceration.
Yeah, and she's like, "Whoa, that's Heather."
Yeah, she put a whole new definition on plumber crack, I think. So, I was like, plumber crack might be coming. I told her I put her on commercials and stuff,
She never had any bad reviews, so.
No. I mean, I honestly, I would be, Erica, you probably would be too, if a woman showed up with a big old wrench and shit. She's like, "I'm going to fix your sink."
That would be surprising.
Well,
she only worked as a plumber for us for about a week.
Okay.
So, and then she didn't show up. Now I know why.
And that's why Ryan found the hiring website called
Indeed.com.
Indeed.com.
Yeah, we've been getting about 5 to 10 interviews a week.
Got it. Man.
So,
got
yeah,
it. So let's talk.
50 people. That's a lot.
That is. He gets a ton of resumes from that. Tons. Yeah. It's a good resource.
We hired 6 last week. So far, we're down to 4 of those still remaining. But we have very high standards. So in the first week, we're going to evaluate you, and if you don't say know what you say you know. Yeah. Which happens more than you think, you're gone. So, I mean, it's just be honest. If you're going to apply at Tampa Bay Plumbers, we're going to figure it out.
Just send them over to my office.
We do pass inspection over here every time.
Toilets get clogged all the time over at Lincoln Linden. Just send them over. If they can't do that, we might make them quit anyway. So, who knows? So I got to throw a little bit of controversial stuff out there before we end the show, and then we'll make sure we get Erica back on here. But I must implore you guys, if you have not listened to the speech that General John Kelly gave, the chief of staff of the Trump administration, 4-star Marine general, probably like the toughest man that ever walked the earth, okay? He gave an incredible speech from the White House, from the press room, I think, last week. And literally my wife and I listened to it together. And almost every man I have spoken to said they were in tears.
Oh, yeah, you'll bawl your eyes out if you listen to it from start to finish. You are
a rock if you do not tear up when you listen to this speech. But he lost his son in Afghanistan. And it had to do with that Florida senator who listened in on the phone call to the family who lost their son and husband, and he basically described the entire process from what happens when a soldier is lost in battle, how they come back, what is the exact procedure, and things that he'll tell you blew my mind. Like, if you didn't know this, if there is family, like for instance the mother and the wife on opposite ends of the country, all right, when this happens and the notification's given to the family, there's these hand-picked people from the military who go wait outside the home starting at, I think they said, like 4 in the morning.
Wait for the lights to turn on.
They wait for the light to turn on, and then they coordinate down to the minute to where they knock on the doors at the same time so that family members are not alerted at different times and calling each other. Knock on the doors, alert the family, and then they stay with the mother or widow as long as they want, sometimes until the body is actually brought back to make sure that they're okay. I mean, the things that I don't know if other countries do this, but it gave me such an appreciation for my country. I had no idea that we treated our fallen soldiers like that and the families. It will blow your mind, the things he tells you. So before you rush to judgment about the Donald Trump call, the other thing you should know is that Trump consulted with Kelly about making these calls, and he was told don't make them. He was told the presidents don't have to make them, and Trump took it upon himself to do it. And he gave him advice on what to say. So just listen to it. Form your own opinion, but listen to the John Kelly speech. It will blow your mind. Yeah. And also watch the clip about Maxine Waters saying she's going to take out Trump, and just turn that back 4 years and imagine if that was some white senator saying that about Obama. Yeah, we'd probably have a whole nother court case on our hands right now if that was the case. So, we talked at the break, and this is something we'll have to talk about in the next show, but ponder on this. Is racism becoming reversed in this country? Is it getting so bad that we are going the exact opposite direction? Because I don't feel like we're at a happy medium. We're going to post that on the Facebook Business Happy Hour, and you guys usually thousands of people come in and comment. So I want to see what people say about that.
We'll get thousands on that one,
We will get thousands on that one, but only 1 minute and 30 left. Man, Tone, you've been so quiet today.
I know.
Man, anything you want to say? How about Mr. Mann doing any sales for the holidays or anything?
Sure, we'll give you 15% off if you mention the
Business Happy Hour.
The Business Happy Hour.
There you go, Mr. Mann Fine Closing, 15% off if you mention my show. Man, if you mention me, we'll throw another 2% off. And your dad will call me and kill me. But, Erica, it's been great having you on the show.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Heck yeah, and we will absolutely recommend you for the business law aspect. I think Ryan and I will be meeting with you as well. And
I've got 3 cases right now that I have
there you go.
Ongoing that I need some help.
If you weren't busy today, this guy's going to keep you busy, I promise. And one of them is not the female plumber. So.
No, not at all.
But no, make sure you reach Erica if you guys have any business advice. Have a consultation. This is if you're looking to start a business. That's the right time to do it. Erica brought up a great point. Most people call attorneys when they're already in trouble. It's kind of like the healthcare thing. Get healthcare before you're fat and overweight, and
they can help keep you out of trouble too.
Keep you out of trouble. A little advice, and she's a great attorney, very well reviewed, and we're going to keep pushing you on the show. Erica DiAngelo, and that's DiAngeloLaw.com, DiAngelo Law.com. Look her up and mention you heard her on the Business Happy Hour. No discounts. It's an attorney. But, but thanks for coming on the show, Erica.
Thanks, guys. I had an awesome time here.
Awesome. And we'll definitely have you back. So, guys, Ryan, great show.
Absolutely. Looking forward to another good week.
That's right, guys. And next week, we're going to talk on some Antifa stuff, and we're going to tell you about some interesting stories there and talk about Adam Carolla. Business Happy Hour is out. Oh.